This is new.
It's free. Okay, so Maine. What more can we say other than it was the original building on campus? So it's the oldest building on campus, hence it has kind of the creepiest atmosphere on campus. Sadly, we cannot go to Main 4th, which is a lot of the stories we're going to be telling are from up there, but there's an RA social or something up there, so we can't go hang out in there, which is kind of a bummer, but it's okay. So there's a lot of slower stories. I'll start with a nice one. How about that? So we've been telling you some ghostly ones. But so, as Amy had mentioned earlier, there were house moms in every building, and they used to be maids that used to live on campus, and they would clean your rooms and do your laundry and do all those fun things. Why we don't have them any longer, I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe they're right. But so they used to live up on 4th, in the rooms that are typically designated to storage now. They're like on the long hallway by the elevator. So they used to clean your rooms, and when you're out, they would leave little notes and kind of things like that. And so it's been known that sometimes the rooms on 4th, and sometimes they'll trickle down here to 3rd and 2nd, but that sometimes you'll come back into your room and your bed will have been made when you didn't make it, or your desk will have been neatened when it was completely a disaster before. And they've been known to kind of been heard like kind of moving stuff around up there, or walking around, or humming. But they're friendly ghosts, which is nice. So I wouldn't mind my bed being made very much. I love it.
Hello, but not everything that happens on 4th is friendly. It's a ghost story. You can come out and show.
Hey, Lucy!
Sorry. So, not everything that happens on 4th is friendly. At one point, those rooms that are before the elevator and but they are both and after the little circle room up at the top used to be inhabited. Some of them are situated as rooms that could be, they have drywall, everything. But after an incident that happened fairly recently, in the last maybe 15 to 20 years, the dates on it are approximate because nobody remembers the exact year that it happened. But Dean Squatter was here at that point, and so the story begins. Those rooms were inhabited, and as happens, it's an old building. They were doing repairs on the roof, so kind of an irritating time to live on Main 4th, where people are constantly hammering shit into your ceiling, blah, blah, blah. So we were getting towards finals, and in the great tradition of making repairs, it takes a really long time for them to finish everything. It was running over schedule, and they were doing repairs near studying time for exams, and everybody was getting kind of pissed off. There was one girl in particular, she was studying for a science final, so she gets pissed, right? And it keeps hammering at her ceiling, and she's like, God, I'm getting so frustrated. So she calls down to switchboard and goes, hey, I understand you guys have to get this finished, and it's going overtime, but I really have to study for this midterm, or this final. I really have to study for it. I need you guys to have them stop for a while just so I can finish studying. They were like, okay, well, we'll check into it. So she waits, and it keeps going. It doesn't stop. So she calls back, and she goes, hey, I called you guys about this problem. I expected you guys to fix it. You guys gonna do anything about it? And they were like, we called in about that, and they said that there wasn't anything going on up there. So we'll call back and make sure that there were no workers up there today, just to make sure. And she's like, okay, that's cool. And goes back to studying, and it starts getting, the pounding on the ceiling starts getting really, really intense. And she's like, I'm just being jerks at this point. I don't understand what's going on. So she calls back down to switchboard one more time, and she goes, okay, they're still doing it, it's getting louder, and the woman goes, we just called down to B&G, there's no one working on the roof right now. So the girls, they're like, we'll come up and check out the problem. The girl hangs up, it starts getting more and more intense, and more intense, and then suddenly through the ceiling, she sees this hand coming through the ceiling ceiling down at her, and the air starts kind of suctioning up out of the room, and she freaks out, as I think is justifiable, and ran from the room and refused to go back in there. She was so frightened and so upset that she promptly left the school and never came back. She transferred. She refused to ever step foot on campus again. They had to pack up the stuff from her room and send it to her because she refused to even step foot on campus to pick it up. And Dean Swager will not talk about why those rooms could not be inhabited, but she was here at the time. And in confidence to somebody that I know, she said that when B&G went to go check out the room, there was a hole in the ceiling and the room was in shambles. So everything was all torn up, thrown around the room, and to this day, no one has ever been allowed to live in those rooms again. So that is the story of the hand on me.
There's also another ghost that frequents Maine. Also, she's been seen in other buildings, but I've heard mostly Maine. You might have seen her. You might have felt her when you sleep. She's kind of young. She's also is blue. We call her the Blue Girl. We don't really know where she comes from. We have no background really. Sometimes I've heard that she's been holding an axe. I've heard without an axe. But she's a little mischievous, and she's been known to tug on your sheets, or maybe pull out your desk chair and kind of sit and chill, or even sit on the end of your bed. So, if you ever see her, just nicely ask her to leave. She should do that, you know. She's okay. And also, there is a ghost in Wright with that likes to take pictures, and these pictures have been taken from an angle where it's not really physically possible for people to get to. Maybe like in the corner, you know, because the ceilings in Wright are pretty high. So in the corner, you know, and the pictures have been of people sleeping. So it's not really at a time where people were taking pictures. And so if you live in Wright, maybe stick your camera, you know, somewhere where it's not sitting out. Heads up. So, anything you want to go over? I feel like I covered everything I want to talk about.
All right, keep moving.
We're moving on. Let's do it.
Where are all these pictures?
I have heard, but I am not for certain. I've heard these pictures are in the archives. Just saying.
We should go looking for those.
Just saying.
That'd be pretty epic.